Hi, I'm Joe Dante. This is Trailers from Hell. Christopher Lee's ambivalence about playing Dracula is well known, and when you look at the series of Dracula pictures that he made for Hammer Films and compare them to the Frankenstein series that was made concurrently, you do see what he was getting at. There's a certain bland repetition that you find in the Dracula pictures, which is not present in the Frankenstein films, which tend to be a little more offbeat as the series goes on. In any case, there was a something of a high point in the morass of Dracula sequels, and this is it. It's called Taste the Blood of Dracula.
Feel the cold grip of his presence. Sense the clammy excitement of his evil.
Chris Lee's disenchantment with Dracula began with Dracula Prince of Darkness, which he played without dialogue because he found the part unplayable as written. By the time this one rolled around, his fourth Hammer Dracula, he turned it down, and Hammer proceeded to write the script without showing Dracula, as they had done successfully with Brides of Dracula in 1959. But their U.S. distributor, Warner Brothers, had done very well with the previous entry, Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, and dictated their terms. No Christopher Lee, no movie. So once again, Lee donned the cape to enact another script that shoehorns the vampire into a story written without him. And again, he decided to drop a lot of his dialogue, which served to make him more of a metaphorical presence in a movie that ironically turned out to be one of the best in the series.
Would you be willing to sell your souls to the devil?
If one thought that one's experience might be extended.
It would be extended to infinity.
There's someone there.
Dracula is back to choose his human victims.
Alice.
Who are you?
Hammer newcomer Peter Sasti breathed some fresh air into a rebellious youth versus the hypocritical establishment situation, obviously intended to appeal to Vietnam-era sympathies. Dracula essentially directs his teenage disciples to destroy their parents, who pose as church-going pillars of the community, but basically lust for forbidden thrills and Satan worship. The distinguished cast of Sybarites includes Peter Sallis, the voice of Wallace in Nick Park's Wallace and Gromit movies. Vincent Price was brooded to play the Jeffrey Keane role, but there wasn't enough money once Lee was recruited. Sexy Linda Hayden, fresh from her iconic lead in Blood on Satan's Claw as the primary nymphet. And Ralph Bates is the Satan worshipper who was originally to carry the non-Dracula duties. Though budgets were being stretched at this point, Arthur Grant's photography and Scott McGregor's art direction make it look pretty sumptuous. The always reliable James Bernard contributes one of his most melodic scores. 3 more comparatively anemic Dracula pictures followed, with Lee admonished that he was putting people out of work if he didn't do them. The next one, Scars of Dracula, was the chintziest of the series, with gouts of blood, cheesy backcloths, and big bats on strings. No wonder Lee doesn't talk about them.